Dividends here. Want to give the weekly update to my options trading and swing trading journey and how I did this week and my plans for the following week. So for those of you that are new to the channel or new to these videos series, for the options part, basically I'm doing the wheel strategy and I'm doing it on, just right now one ETF. And that's a double leveraged ETF that moves 2 times what Tesla does, okay? So the plan was in the beginning, I'm going to sell puts. If I get a sign, I'm going to sell calls. If I get a sign, then I'll repeat the process over and over and over again. I will not lose capital. If anything, I will gain capital. So with that capital plus any premium I make, hopefully I can yield a respectable percentage, right? And add that to my ongoing income source so that I can eventually retire. So anyway, I have a spreadsheet that you see here. So look in, if you want the details on how this spreadsheet works or options trading for beginners, go check out my options playlist. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. And FYI, I will be doing an updated whiteboard video on basically my strategy and try to explain it for, the brand new beginner. I don't know when I'll be able to make that video, but hopefully in the coming weeks. So look out for that. All right, so this tab here, I just wanted to explain real quick. This is my watch list of different options ETF or high volatile ETFs that I may or may not trade options on. So obviously the one highlighted is the one I'm currently trading. That's TSLL. So you can see column D, one of the important columns there, 30-day IV. Their IV is 88%. That is pretty solid because, again, it's 2 times leverage of Tesla. So Tesla is around 44% IV. So this is 88% IV. So you got to love it. So double the premium. Now, there's other ones out there. I sorted this by price so you can see, okay, because obviously I don't have a big bankroll. So, anything that's below $10, that's a win for me, right? Because you could sell a put, for for under $1,000. Because keep in mind, one contract is 100 shares. If you want to sell one put, that's 100 shares. So 100 shares of TSLL is almost $800. So yeah, there's a couple good ones. You can see like MSOX. That's 2x leverage MSOS, and that's 107% volatility. That's crazy. Then there's Clean Spark, 102% IV, Mara, 97% IV. And then Bitex, this is an interesting one, 116% IV. So these are just some I've been keeping my eye on. The next one I do plan on trading, though, is TNA. But the only way I can do this is I have to sell out of some of my high-yielding funds. And I don't want to do that. So that's the problem. So it's either I get more money somehow or I sell out of some other funds because right now, one contract of TNA is about $3,800. And I'm using about, let's just say 10,000, for example, available for options. And $10,000 for TNA, that's 2 contracts. So what if I sell a put, it tanks, and I sell another put and it continues tanking? Then I'm a bag holder that can't sell calls. No, thank you. So that's why I'm not using TNA at the moment. And I'm using something a little more affordable that I could afford 10 contracts. So that way, if I sell a put on TSLL and it tanks, I don't really care because I'll sell another and I'll average down. All right, one additional column I did add. You could see the fluctuation here. So MSOX, yes, great IV, right? But look at that fluctuation. It has moved down 75% away from the high. So that's, the higher the fluctuation, the more dangerous this could be, right? So you can see I basically, did take the 52-week high, subtracted the 52-week low, and divided that by the 52-week high to show you how, what percentage it moves by. Anything like ABR, it only moved about 33% in 52 weeks. Their IV, again, it's a little lower, 34%. So that, you're not going to get that much premium, but it feels a little safer. So you're looking for anything. Let's look at TSLL, for example, like 76%. That's a huge fluctuation. So it's super high risk. And then we look at, let's see, Mara, 79%, crazy. Bitex, 84%. So you have to keep in mind, like, look at that. What if you sell a put on Bitex for $50 and it goes down to $9? Like, that's terrible. So this is, options, it's very risky, but it's very fun. And it's awesome, to be honest. So if you know nothing about options, I definitely recommend at least learning it. I'm not saying you have to trade it, but at least learn it. Okay, let's get into what happened for this week. So anything in gray we talked about, all right? So anything in white, this is active. So as you can see, I'll try to zoom in without disrupting the sheet. So we have on row 27, we have a call, 750 call. This one expired May 24th, okay? And then if you go 2 down, we have another call for 750 that expired May 24th, okay? Now, TSLL, if I scroll down real quick, they closed at $7.77. I want to get that going. There you go. So they closed at $7.77. So if I sell a call with a strike price of $7.50 and it expires yesterday and it closed above that strike price, that means I have to sell my shares at $7.50. And that's exactly what happened. So if I scroll to the right, you can see on rows 27 and 29, both got assigned. I did mention this in my other video, but the actual, very unusual. The first one got early assignment. In fact, yesterday, middle of the day, TSLL was around 7:55. I got an email, I looked at my account and I had less shares. I'm like, what the hell happened? 100 shares were gone. I got early assignment on one of them. I don't know why. I thought that was very unusual. But again, there's a buyer on the other side. He has the right to do that. So I got assigned early. So he bought my shares for $7.50 and I got $750 in my account right away. And then I just checked today. Today's the Saturday after the Friday of expiration. The other one that got assigned, I got $750 in my account for as well. So again, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go to the other May 24th real quick. So what expired yesterday? I had a put. I sold a put with a 750 strike. This is on row 38. You see the strike price 750, and that expired yesterday. So if TSLL ended up below 750, I would have to buy 100 shares at 750. But it did not. It closed above 750. So guess what? Yep, you guessed it. That expired worthless. So basically, again, perfect scenario. I got $41 for lending out, essentially, posting collateral of $750, which yielded 5.47%, annualized yield 117%. So beautiful thing. So I had the other put, which you saw, I did an early close. I did an early close on the 22nd. Was that this week? Yeah, I think that was this week. I closed it out. That was a $7 strike. I closed it out because it only cost 3 cents. All right, so I captured 91% of the premium. I got my collateral back so I can use it, and I did use it down below. I'll show you in a second. And that ended up yielding me 156%. So you see the action. I did a buy to close. Because again, if I sold a put, at the time I sold a put on TSLL, you can see that the stock price at execution was $7.11. TSLL went up from there. So if it goes up from there on out, because selling put, it's a bullish play. Since it went up, it cost much cheaper to, for this position. So I got to the point, obviously it was, I had the contract for 11 days actually at that point, but it only cost 3 cents to close. So I said, you know what? Let me close it early. That way, in case TSLL tanks again, I'll sell another put. So I paid the 3 cents. I got 91% of my premium, and it ended up being an annualized yield of 156%. So awesome play. I was very happy with that. Let me go real quick to the other put, then we'll get to the calls. So I had that cash, right? I had $750 back in my account, and guess what happened? TSLL, it went down from where it was. Didn't go down as much as where we wanted it to be, but it went down to like 802. And at that time, I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this money sit here. So I'm going to sell another put. I'm going to put the expiration date out a little further into, 5/31. Obviously, I'm not going to use that current week. So I chose 5/31, which is 9 days. And I chose a 750 strike, which again, at that point was 6.48% out of the money. I only got 20 cents a share, which is $20, but again, it's better than nothing. So that comes to an annualized yield of 108%. So this put is still open. All right, so what else do we got heading into this week? That expired 5/24. I had a call, as you can see on row 40, $8 strike call. And then row 43, I also had an $8 strike call that expired yesterday. So 2 calls I sold for $8. So guess what? If TSLL closes above $8, I have to sell my shares at $8. But as you saw, TSLL closed below $8. So these expired worthless. So if you go all the way to the right, I did note that in green, they expired worthless. So I ended up keeping the total premium, of which was about $38. And I yielded annualized yield of 90% on one, 283% on the other. So again, good money. All right, so that's what expired for this week. Heading into next week, these are some older trades. I have 2 calls that expire. Well, again, these are older. One at 750, and then another at 8. But this is when I was desperate. Look at the stock price. It was at 540. It was at what? 525, 673. So I had to sell calls. I had to do something over earnings. So this is why I had the 750 strike kind of locked in there. But I have 2 calls, 2 older calls for a 750 and an $8 strike expiring next week. I also have a call for $8 that was, this was done a little later, that also expires next week. And I'll do the summary in a second. But and what else do I have? Well, we covered the put. So this is what I did this week, these 3 transactions. Anytime you see a line, this is what I did for the week. So I did also sell calls this week. I was able to do 1 contract for an $8 strike. At the time, the stock price was $7.72, so I got 18 cents a share. The other one, it was actually above $8, so I sold that in the money, and I got 0.47. So, it's unfortunate I did that 1 call a little too early when TSLL jumped. There was a day there that jumped, but it doesn't matter. If I wait, it could go down. You just can't time it. So in the end, total premium, I got $18, $47, and $20 for this week. Awesome. You can't beat this. And look at this. Look what that comes to annualized. 283%, 213%, and 108%. So again, so far so good with my options plays. And let me show you some more details on the next tab. So I got assigned the 750s, two 750s. Again, it's going to be first in, first out. So if you look to the left, my strikes started at $9.50, $9, $8.50, and it went down. So my average, which is the only thing I'm concerned about, my average is 783. So I need to average 783 or above. I'm not going to sell for a loss. So right now you see the profit loss column. That will get better as I sell my remaining calls around $8 or more. So right now, obviously, it's showing losses because it's first in, first out. Because again, I sold, $8. I sold the 100 for $8, and then obviously the 950 that went against the 950. Then I sold 2 750s that went against the 9 and the 850. So that's why you see the profit loss in the negative $400. But again, in the end, when the wheel is over, the profit loss will be in a positive. So there should be some capital gains. Or if it's 0, I'm okay with that as well. Because again, the whole point is just earning premium. I'm not doing this for capital gains. All right, so that was in the black. So anything in gray, that's gone. So now I have 4 outstanding calls, all of which expire this coming Friday. 1 at 7:50 and then 3 at 8, okay? So if TSLL closes above 8, all of them are gone, all right? And then guess what? I have 200 shares to play with for next week. And then those, look at my average on those, $6.50 and $6. And I plan to sell calls at $8 because look at the price of TSLL. It is at the perfect price. It's priced at $7.77. My average is $7.83, so $8 calls. It's a beautiful thing. I don't even, like, say it goes to $8.25. I could do the $8.50, but why? Why not do the $8? Because it could come back down and it could expire worthless. I don't know. I have options. That's the beautiful thing. Or guess what, guys? Guess what? It could tank. It can go from $7.77 to $7.50 or $7 or $6. And if that happens, guess who doesn't give a crap? Me. You know why? Well, I got assigned, right? All these calls got assigned. I got my cash. You know, I got $750 on one, $750 on another. That's $1,500 cash. I had some puts that expired worthless. I got cash collateral from that. So I have plenty of cash for next week to sell puts. So I welcome the TSLL drop for next week. However, if it doesn't drop, I have 200 shares that I can sell calls on. This is what I was talking about the other day. To me, I could give two craps what TSLL does because I'm on both sides of the fence now. Like I said, if it goes down, I'll sell puts. And on top of that, if it goes way down, I'll close out these calls early, right? I'll pay pennies on the dollar and I'll close these calls out. I have 4 calls. But if it goes up, okay, that's fine. I don't care if these get assigned. And if it goes up, I still have 200 shares that I own, you know, and I could sell calls on those. Beautiful thing. That's the beautiful thing about the wheel. I'm having a blast, honestly, doing this. I don't know if you could tell in my voice. So yeah, that is the plan. So right now, how many shares do I own? I own about 600 shares, 4 of which are locked into contracts. The other 2, I will sell calls next week if TSLL stays where it's at or goes up. It'll be tough. Well, I could always do an $8 strike with a further expiration if it decides to dip. But, you know, might not be worth it. We'll see. All right, total income for the week, I made $85. And yeah, so that I posted, that was using capital of 2,326. So that's a yield of 3.65%, which is kind of in line with what I've been doing. The last dividend income I did get was March 29th. I need to keep that in mind because June 28th, I'm guessing, will be the next dividend. So that is approaching. So that being said, me owning more shares than not is not necessarily a bad thing. So as mentioned, I own right now 600 shares. So that would be an awesome dividend for that. I don't know what the dividend will be, but I'm not going to change my plan based on their little dividend, but I'm just going to keep that in the back of my head that they will pay a dividend in the month of June, hopefully. And then I have this tab. This is just like the what if. What if I use, right now I'm using 10,000 to do options, but in reality, I'm only using about half of it, sometimes a third. But if I actually use 20,000 of my money that's in my taxable account, and I used all of that for options activity, and my rate of return stays what it's at, 291%, I can make $58,000 a year. I can make $48.50 a month. Again, that's way above my monthly income based on what I make now with options and high yield dividends. But again, am I prepared to use $20,000 to trade options? Absolutely not. But I'm doing my hypothetical to keep that in mind. If I were to switch to more of myself doing options versus paying fund managers to do it, this is what I'm showing that I could do. And that's good income. $4,850 a month. Man, if I can get that, again, the hypothetical, it has to, I use $20,000. Why do I use $20,000? Because my account is at $50,000. So if I have $20,000 in options active, I want a cushion in case I have to, lower my cost basis, in case I have to protect my average. So that's why I'll have $30,000 cushion for that. So that's why I use the 20,000 hypothetical. If my account goes to 60,000, then I could move this capital maybe up to 30,000, right? And then do the hypothetical then. And now we're talking 7,200 a month. I mean, that's pretty damn good money, right? That's really good money. So again, this is just the hypothetical tab. What is possible? And this is possible. It won't be easy, but I'm just showing that it's possible based on the numbers that I'm doing. Because again, I have the average down here. I show you my annualized yield per every single transaction, and we have a lot of them. We have about 44 that I've done so far, and that's a respectable number. Obviously some in the 1,000 percentages, but those were little, those were luck, to be honest. But in the end, my average is 291%. So that's really good. By the way, for the month of May, I have made $319 so far. And we have one more week. This is the last week, this coming week, that I can earn options premium. So I would like to get this May income up. And I'm ready. I'm going to make premium one way or the other. No matter what TSLL does, I will make premium. Hopefully I can get this number to 400. I'm not going to beat April. There's no way, unless I get really lucky. But yeah, there's just no way. But hopefully the 400 helps my boost up my monthly income so that I could stay above 2,000 total with dividends plus options premium. But stay tuned for that for the month end results. All right, so that's the update on the options premium. Hopefully I explained that well. Hopefully I went at a decent speed, didn't go too slow, didn't go too fast, but I rely on your feedback to let me know. By the way, guys, real quick, if you guys like this content, if this is really helping you, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you can, just share this in any options trading groups that you're in, because this content, believe it or not, does not do well. And I love talking about this content, but unfortunately options is not, it's not a very popular thing. And typically when people get involved with options, they would much rather prefer to pay for a course than listen for free. So, I'm just giving out what I'm doing at the very basic level. And I trade options at the very basic level. I like to think I know a little about options. I don't speak Greek, right? I don't use deltas all these fancy Greek words, right? I don't use charts. I keep it simple, and that's the way I like it. I don't have time for charts, number one. I don't have time for deltas and this and that and the other thing. I just, look at this and that, and that's it. You see what I look at. Everything that's on the sheet is what I look at. And people can't believe it. They probably think it's stupid that I do it this way, but this is the way I do it. Why? Maybe when I'm retired, sure, I'll play around with the charts. But right now, I'm fine. I'm fine with this. Is it risky? Sure. But I do it. I finally have a strategy that works for me. Anyway, that's the options update. Let me go to the swing trade update. This will be a little quicker. Again, this is the list of these stocks that I currently swing trade. If they are at a low, I will buy into them, but I will, my new rule, only 3 at a time. Only 3 active at a time. TSLT, okay, so Tesla went down. I bought some on May 20th, and it went down to 10.85. This is a double leverage fund of Tesla. I sold it the next day for 10.94. I made $38. So 7.49% gain. And we're happy. And then it went down again. It went down, and I bought it. It went down to 10.92, and I bought it at 10.32. So right now I still own 100 shares of TSLT. So that's an active fund. Conal, I'm still bagging it up, man. I am a super bag holder now. Continuing to average down. I got really close. I was 7% away from making a profit. But right now, yeah, I own about $4,400 worth of CONL, which is a double leverage fund of Coinbase. Am I getting concerned? Not gonna lie, kinda. But again, I'm just gonna keep averaging down, and eventually, I'll when it goes back up, hopefully I get at least a 5% gain. But a 5% gain of 4,400, boom, I'll take it, man. So hopefully we'll get to that point. We could sell CONL and move on with our lives. The beauty is, though, I'm only doing like $200 a pop, $250 a pop, because I started, it was around 407. I'm averaging down so much that the cost of 5 shares is only $248, $198, so it's cheap. So that's the beauty. Nothing with TQQQ this week. SOXL, nothing going on. AAPX, nothing going on. TNA, nothing. MSFX, nothing. Nugget, nothing. NVDX, nothing. I should have bought before earnings. I knew I should have, and I didn't. I even told myself I'm going to buy some. I didn't do it. TMF, nothing. Labu. Oh, yeah, Labu, I got something. So on the 21st, I did buy 5 shares at 110.91. I sold them for a 6.16% profit for 117.74, and I made $34. Not bad. Not bad for a day's work. Erti, nothing. Gooks, no, that's nothing. Bit2, nothing. Yin, this one might be a problem too. I should have waited, but I bought it at $31.99, and then it's been tanking ever since. I bought it at 30, 29, 28, and then 26. So, I got 2,600 already in yin, and that's in 1 week. 1 week of yin. It's dangerous, but let's hope. Again, yin is the Chinese one. Let's hope that China has some good news for next week, and we could sell this out for a profit. Okay, so let's go to the profits and see how we're doing. Again, my outstanding investments are currently I have 5,400 at work, 5,464. That's okay. I have plenty of cash to average down in order to make money. My total profits since I started this journey, 3,163. My total profits for May are 462.60, which again, it's not as good as April, but at least I'm coming up. I came up a little. But again, the strategy kind of took a little hit because, as you knew, I was getting way over allocated on too many different funds. So I was being a bag holder on too many. So this is why I now have the 3 stock rule. So you should only ever see 3 outstanding investments at a time. So I have yin, I have TSLT, and I have CONL. I will continue to average down on those until I make a profit, and then I have the decision to either sell all of it for a profit or piecemeal it. That's the beauty. So yeah. I'm still doing the swing trading journey. It's okay. It's not as fun as options, but it's honestly, it's thoughtless. Like I don't even have to think. If it's down, I'll buy it. Okay, done. The hardest part is updating a spreadsheet, just so you guys can track. I did think about getting rid of the swing trading section of this video because I don't know if the interest is there. So I would appreciate you guys give me some feedback on that. Would you care if I got rid of the swing trading part of this video and I stuck to only options? Let me know. If you like the swing trading update, I'll keep it. And I don't mind keeping track because it is nice to see. But again, if there's no interest, then what's the point? Okay, so that's the update on options trading. That's the update on swing trading. Again, I do these once a week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. As always, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for fun and entertainment as I share my journey on how I make additional money, whether it be through options premium or swing trading. Again, swing trading is done through a Roth, just so you know. Options trading, I have in a taxable. For context, all right? So obviously, do your own research. All of this, pretty risky. If you don't do it right, it could be very damaging. But again, I just hope you guys enjoy the content. If you have any questions, concerns, leave them in the comments below. Like I said, if you enjoy this, hit the like button. It really helps the channel go boom. But that's all I got for today. But I do appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a nice weekend, or who knows what day it is by the time you're watching it. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, take care. Have a good one. I'm out. Later.